His Excellency Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs for Government of India, Honorable Jahangir Gobind Nanak, President Member of Bangladesh Awami League, Mr. Ram Madhav, Member Governing Council of India Foundation, Professor ASM Shamsul Arifin, Chairman, Bangladesh Foundation for Regional Studies, Lieutenant General Raj Shukla, and Mr. Alok Bansal, Director, India Foundation, who actually made this event possible in such a quick time after few changes, or some changes. My ministerial colleague from Bangladesh, Honorable Member of Parliament, retired government officials, think tank, civil society representative from both Bangladesh and India, political activists. Very good morning and Assalamu alaikum, namaskar. I'm absolutely delighted and very pleased to attend this 10th round of Bangladesh-India Friendship Dialogue in this very historic and scenic city of Shimla. I'm also delighted to meet and interact with friends from India after the unprecedented challenging time posed by COVID-19. This unique gathering of policymakers and representatives from think tanks and civil society offers us an opportunity to share broader perspective on bilateral, regional and global issues. I believe new thoughts and ideas will come out from the deliberations of the dialogue in the next couple of days, as Ram Madhavji expected, and we also share his expectation and provide impetus to renew our focus on very important issues and accelerate the pace of our relations. I extend my sincere thanks to the organizers, in particular the Ministry of External Affairs of India, the State Government of Himachal Pradesh, and the India Foundation for inviting me and extending warm hospitality to all of our other colleagues from Bangladesh. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt felicitation and congratulations to the people of Himachal Pradesh for the 50th anniversary of the very formation of this very beautiful and strategic and historic state. Dear friends, 2021 was a very special year for Bangladesh and the Bangladesh-India bilateral relationship. We celebrated the birth centenary of the founding father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and at the same time the golden jubilee of the independence of Bangladesh. And also the 50th anniversary of establishment of our diplomatic ties between Bangladesh and India. The state visit of Honorable President Shri Ramnath Kovind and the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to Bangladesh to join various programs on these occasions in Dhaka added extra fervor to our celebration. And we have an experience in our life in the history of Bangladesh, and probably neither our Indian friends did, that in the same calendar year, the President and Prime Minister visited a neighboring country, a same country, in the same calendar year. So this was a truly a gesture that will remain in our heart forever. The joint celebration of Maitri Divas in different capitals across the world has taken our renewed commitment of friendship and collaboration to the outer world. I believe the momentum and enthusiasm created in 2021 will be carried to the future. As I speak in this inaugural session titled Reliving Bangabandhu's Vision for India-Bangladesh Friendship, my mind goes 50 years back to February 1972, the first official visit of Bangabandhu to India. Earlier on January 10, 1972, Bangabandhu had a stopover in Delhi on the way to independent Bangladesh after getting released from Pakistani prison. It was a very special gesture to thank the government and the people of India for their enormous support and sacrifice in our war of liberation. During those visits, Bangabandhu shared his dreams and thoughts on the nature, principles and ideals which the newly independent Bangladesh was going to embody. In his historic speech at the Brigade Parade Ground in Kolkata, Bangabandhu labeled Pakistan's ideology as nothing but rhetoric full of communalism and hatred and animosity towards India. They had hardly any time to look at the real peril of poverty, inequality, and injustice within the country. About the then Pakistani leadership, Bangabandhu said, I quote, "People who are starving, people who are being devoid of everything, people who are being reduced to begging, and they wouldn't talk about it. They would only chant Hindustan is our enemy. Why Hindustan would be our enemy? Why India would be our enemy? They are our brothers. We will live side by side as brothers." Unquote. Bangabandhu stressed that the unity of Bangladesh and India is the unity of principles, unity of ideology, and unity of humanism. The enormous understanding between Bangabandhu and the Indian leadership, their resolution to the principles of democracy and sovereignty, and their denouncement of realism and colonialism in all forms and manifestation created a sense of assurance between our two countries. Within months of independence, Bangabandhu laid a strong foundation of the Bangladesh-India bilateral relationship. Till today, respect for each other's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, and democratic norms and values are the basis of our bilateral relationship. Dear friends, Bangabandhu throughout his life fought against oppression, inequality, and injustice. He wanted to ensure equality, human dignity, and social justice for the people. He also believed only lasting peace and stability can bring sustained prosperity regionally and internationally. Bangabandhu carried and spread the message of peace to every international forum he attended, from UN to NAM to Commonwealth to OIC. Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, while addressing the people in Dhaka on Bangabandhu's birthday in 1972, 17th March, said, I quote, "It is the part of the leader of your nation, who is not only Bangabandhu, but brother to wherever there are people who suffer from injustice or from tyranny," I unquote. Bangabandhu's ideology and principles have guided the foreign policy of Bangladesh. Our choices, from forging friendship with all the countries with open mind to sheltering the persecuted Rohingyas from Myanmar, are derived from the ethos of Bangabandhu's friendship to all and malice towards none, or stand firmly by the side of the oppressed people of the world. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, for thousands of years, people of this geographically country land that constitute today's Bangladesh and India have lived side by side, shared each other's happiness, and sympathized each other in times of distress. The people will continue to do so generations after generations to come. This is our destiny, a destiny that we must cherish to make our living happy and meaningful. Guided by the principles of Bangabandhu, Bangladesh believes in peace and stability, so that every country may devote its resources and energies to the pressing task of advancing the welfare of its own people. The government, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has demonstrated unwavering commitment and made significant contribution to ensure peace and stability in the region and beyond. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has not only taken political risk, but also enormous personal risk to make our region safer and strengthen the trust and confidence among each other. Today, progress and development are reaching every corner of our region. Excellencies, dear friends, steadfast leadership and visionary policies of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and our primary focus on development is paying off its dividend for our people and creating new opportunities for our partners. Bangladesh has been one of the fastest growing economies in the world for the past decade. An emergence as a development role model. Our GDP per capita has crossed $2,500. The size of our economy is now over $1 trillion in terms of PPP. We believe such growth can be accelerated when other countries in the region also grow hand in hand and create synergies for each other. It is natural that Bangladesh and India can reap more benefits from collective efforts and cooperation in newer areas and deepening the existing ones. There are wide-ranging possibilities for us to use the economic complementarities existing within the South Asian region. Bangabandhu also believed in that. He mooted the idea of having industrial projects based on economic complementarities, exporting the products and reducing the trade gaps. Dear friends, Bangladesh and India share a rich cultural heritage, draw sustenance from the same intellectual and literary traditions. Owing to our proximity and similarities, our peoples meet each other en masse both at real and digital space. If their perception about each other doesn't match the reality and their expectation, there would be short of mutual respect. All our efforts would go in vain. It is the responsibility of the policymakers, media and the civil society to create positive narratives and build perception that reflects reality. We should remember this while using our rhetorics. It would be an irony if we put enormous efforts to build physical bridge but fall short of bringing our people closer. The future growth of the region would depend on increasing interconnectedness. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangabandhu attended a crowded press conference in London on 8th January 1972 for the first time as a leader of independent Bangladesh. 9-month-long captivity in Pakistan, the long travel, or the uncertainty ahead of running a war-devastated country, nothing could affect his confidence and self-esteem. Bangabandhu didn't start talking about the huge crisis the country was facing and seeking help or aid from outer world. Rather, on a query, Bangabandhu reminded about the hundreds of years of colonial exploitation of Bengal and the responsibility that others share to his newly independent war-affected people. He said, I quote, "We will rise again if I have my land and people," unquote. We are grateful to the countries and partners who extended their support and cooperation in our difficult days. As a nation, Bangladesh remains committed to be self-reliant and make increasing contribution for the cause of others. Our economic growth has shifted our dependency significantly from foreign aid to foreign trade and investment. Bangladesh's external debt to GDP ratio remains below 20%, one of the lowest in the world. As a self-reliant country, Bangladesh should continue to set its own development priorities while cooperating with our development partners. Dear friends, Bangladesh and India have been enjoying the fruits of good neighborly relationship, a relationship that has forged by blood, tear, and sweat. From brave soldiers to famous artists to hard-working commoners, people of India contributed from their own field. The spirit of 1971, still alive and vibrant. Let us show, as we did in 1971, that we are capable of rising to the challenges of time. I wish continued happiness and well-being and a huge success of this 10th round of India-Bangladesh Friendship Dialogue. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu. May Bangladesh-India relationship and friendship live forever. Thank you.